The film begins in Tokyo, Japan, where we meet a deadly female agent named Avery Graves. She's on the rooftop of a skyscraper, preparing for her mission. Moving with precision and stealth, she slips into the building, takes down a security guard without a sound, and infiltrates her target's location. Avery confronts her target and demands that he open his safe, which he reluctantly does. Several guards storm the scene just then, and a fierce brawl breaks out. Avery, being the skilled agent she is, swiftly neutralizes the guards and follows the blood trail of her fleeing target. More bodyguards try to stop her, but she dispatches them with ease and continues the pursuit. She eventually corners her target, and after a brief but brutal fight, she kills him by drowning him. With the mission completed, Avery leaves the building and vanishes into the night. The scene shifts to Zagreb, Croatia, where Avery returns home and reunites with her husband, David. The two share a warm embrace and exchange anniversary gifts before enjoying a bottle of wine together. Later, they take a leisurely walk through the streets, savoring the evening. The next day, Avery arrives at her office and is contacted by her supervisor, Headland, who questions her about her recent trip to Tokyo. After their conversation, they both head to a secure underground facility where Avery is briefed on a string of high-profile assassinations. Strangely, no one in her agency seems to have any leads on who's responsible. After the meeting, Avery returns home to spend time with David. However, upon arrival, she's shocked to find the house in complete disarray. Her heart sinks as she realizes something is wrong. David is missing. Moments later, she receives a chilling phone call from his kidnapper. The message is clear. If Avery wants to save her husband, she must steal confidential documents from the CIA that contain critical information about the kidnappers. She has 9 hours to retrieve the file, or David dies. With no time to waste, Avery calls an old friend, Sarah, a skilled hacker. She needs Sarah's help to keep this mission off the radar. Avery instructs Sarah to trace the location of the call she received. Sarah gets to work immediately, though it'll take some time to pinpoint the exact location. Meanwhile, Avery heads back to CIA headquarters to gather intel on Canary Black. However, only a select few agents have access to those files. Determined, she does some unauthorized hacking of her own and uncovers useful information. Around the same time, Sarah supplies her with the location she requested. Avery rushes to the site, but finds only a phone and a ring left behind. Suddenly, she receives another call. The voice on the line reveals that they're onto her and that she's walked straight into a trap. Moments later, Avery realizes an explosive device has been planted. Thinking fast, she searches for a way to disarm it and succeeds just in time. The scene then shifts to a CIA black site, where Avery seeks out an old friend, Maxfield, to gather crucial information about a mysterious assassin named Key. Avery's interrogation was nothing more than a calculated move to gain access to classified CIA data. She aggressively questioned the captive about Canary Black, but he refused to speak. Growing impatient, she resorted to physical persuasion, ripping out one of his teeth, expecting it to contain the crucial information. But to her frustration, it was empty. In the middle of the brutal interrogation, Maxfield suddenly entered the room. However, he too was met with violence and was severely beaten. Seizing the opportunity, Avery dashed out of the facility. Meanwhile, the CIA mistakenly believed that Avery had already stolen the classified data, leading to a drastic escalation. She was now branded a national security threat. Back at CIA headquarters, Headland, Avery's employer, received direct orders to eliminate her. He was also briefed on the true nature of Canary Black, a highly classified master list containing blackmail material on government officials worldwide. Originally designed to track leverage points that foreign powers could exploit, the file was an intelligence goldmine. But there was a twist. Headland himself was on the list, with incriminating video evidence of an affair from 4 years ago. Realizing his vulnerability, he wasted no time and launched a full-scale manhunt for Avery. Meanwhile, Avery remained one step ahead. She infiltrated Hank's residence and used his wife's phone to call him. She revealed that David had been kidnapped and that the captors were demanding the Canary Black file. Convinced that the elusive assassin Key was behind it all, Avery pleaded with Headland for help, explaining that the situation had spiraled beyond her control. She urged him to check her ransacked home as proof of the abduction. However, when Headland and Maxfield arrived at Avery's house, they found it perfectly arranged, a clear contradiction to her claims. Suspicious, Headland started believing that everything was part of a larger scheme. Determined to uncover the truth, Avery attended an exclusive high-profile party where she met met a French intelligence broker. She confided in him about her blackmailer and requested a list of assassins, foreign agents, and intelligence operatives. Later, she retreated to her safe house to collect some cash, but just as she was about to leave, she was ambushed, leading to a brutal fight. After skillfully taking down her attackers, her phone rang. It was her blackmailer. He coldly informed her that the briefcase she left behind contained nothing of value. Avery, in turn, admitted that the tooth was also empty. Enraged, the blackmailer intensified David's torture. Desperate, she begged for more time, but was given only 4 hours to deliver the real files, or David would die. In a last-ditch effort, she arranged a meeting with Headland to apologize for keeping him in the dark. He acknowledged her skills, but subtly warned her house had been immaculately staged, which meant she was being played. He then revealed the full extent of Canary Black's power. His own name was listed in the files. Before Avery could react, CIA agents stormed in and arrested her. While transporting her, the agents relentlessly interrogated her about the stolen files. But before they could get any real answers, a deadly ambush ensued. Explosives were planted on both sides of the vehicle, erupting into an intense gunfight. Avery fought fiercely, managing to take down multiple attackers. The chaos ended in a fiery crash, and Avery took the chance to flee. Meanwhile, Headland confronted Avery's blackmailer at the National Security Service, vowing to track him down. Avery, now operating under extreme caution, checked into a hotel under the alias Olivia Oxley. She discreetly slipped out of her assigned room and into a nearby one. Moments later, Hurd, a key operative, entered his own hotel room, only to be immediately overpowered by Avery. To keep him from alerting his bodyguards, she secured a silent mask over his face and began her interrogation. When he refused to cooperate, she escalated her tactics, torturing him until he finally gave up a password. However, it turned out to be a fake, locking her out of the system entirely. Enraged, Avery knocked him unconscious and immediately reached out to Serena, seeking her expertise in hacking into his laptop. Avery also reached out to Headland for help, and to her surprise, he agreed. With his assistance, she teamed up with Serena for a high-stakes information-gathering mission. Using a large surveillance drone, they planned their next move to infiltrate CIA headquarters. Meanwhile, her hostage is now conscious. Avery Graves tried accessing the file linking to the Canary Black. She got it and immediately began to copy everything. Meanwhile, Hurd was also found in his room, helplessly on the floor, by his bodyguards and secretary. He informed them of Avery Graves's plans to steal vital information. However, Avery Graves successfully copied it. However, by now, the entire CIA security team was aware of her actions. To aid Avery's escape, Serena maneuvered the drone from the rooftop, though her landing was rough. In a desperate attempt to flee, Avery stole a car and immediately contacted her superior. Meanwhile, the blackmailer learned of Avery's successful escape, setting off a race against time. As Avery and Serena accessed the stolen files, they uncovered a shocking revelation. Canary Black was not a blackmail list. Instead, it contained a doomsday virus, a powerful cyber weapon designed to cripple nations. Realizing the global threat, Avery sped toward the designated meeting site, expecting to receive final instructions on exchanging the information for her husband's release. However, on her way there, she was involved in a car accident, delaying her arrival. When she finally made it to the location, she was ambushed by one of the blackmailer's operatives, who injected her with an unknown substance. Meanwhile, the blackmailer launched his final plan, broadcasting a live threat to intelligence agencies worldwide. To prove his power, he shut down all internet and electricity in one country, demanding that each nation deposit at least 1% of its GDP or face catastrophic consequences. As Hank rampaged through the facility, eliminating anyone in his way, he was eventually captured and brought before the chief of operations. During their heated exchange, he suddenly shot Headland and turned his attention to Avery. Taking things a step further, he brought David in, ordering him to kill Avery. Just as it seemed like David would follow through, he instead fought back, despite being shot in the stomach. In a shocking turn of events, David eliminated the blackmailer, saving Avery in the process. Stunned by the betrayal, Avery attacked David, demanding answers. He admitted that the entire ordeal had been orchestrated to manipulate her into retrieving the Canary Black files, though he never anticipated it would spiral out of control. He also confirmed that Hank was Collie, reinforcing that the threat had been real all along. Determined to end the chaos, Avery rushed to shut down the hacker's server, but before she could reach it, she discovered Hank's lifeless body. Meanwhile, David took it upon himself to disable the building's main server, as Avery battled waves of enemy operatives in a gunfight-filled showdown. With the CIA closing in on their location, Avery finally came face-to-face with the blackmailer, leading to a brutal one-on-one fight. Meanwhile, the hacker was on the verge of deploying the virus globally quickly, racing against Avery's every move. At first, Avery struggled, but she eventually overpowered and killed the blackmailer. However, when she saw the virus upload nearing completion, she sprinted toward the terminal in a desperate attempt to stop it and succeeded just in time. Afterward, David approached her, apologizing for everything that had transpired. In response, Avery returned his wedding ring, coldly telling him it's over. Without hesitation, David fled the scene, diving off the building into the waters below. As the dust settled, Avery was captured and taken into custody. Interrogators pressed her for answers, but she refused to cooperate, even attacking her captors. Just then, a mysterious woman entered the room. She calmly approached Avery and offered her a position with MI6. Not only did she secure Avery's release, but she also promised to clear her record, giving Avery a second chance at a new life. Until next time, stay awesome and keep watching.